Trump says he is disappointed because Zelensky reportedly hasn't read US peace plan. Zelensky to receive peace plan updates only in person as security concerns rise, and how Ukrainian security chief discloses first insights from negotiations with Trump's team. The latest news next. US President Donald Trump stated that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has still not reviewed the US peace plan, according to White House broadcast. During the press briefing, Trump was asked what his next step would be in negotiations with Ukraine and Russia, following last week's consultations. He responded.
So we've been speaking to President Putin, and we've been speaking to Ukrainian leaders, including Zelensky, President Zelensky. And I have to say that I'm a little bit disappointed that President Zelensky hasn't yet read the proposal. That was as of a few hours ago.
He also added that Russia would like to have all of Ukraine but is still agreeable to a peace deal, and that Ukraine's presidential team supports the document. However, he said he does not know whether Zelensky himself agrees.
His people love it, but he hasn't. Russia's fine with it. Russia, I guess, would rather have the whole country when you think of it. But Russia is, I believe, fine with it, but I'm not sure that Zelensky is fine with it. His people love it, but he hasn't read it.
The White House leader also reiterated that he had expected resolving the war in Ukraine to be somewhat easier, but it had turned out otherwise, adding that it was a very tough and very harsh war. US President Donald Trump's remarks reveal a familiar pattern of shifting responsibility at a moment when clarity and accountability are crucial. By stressing that President Zelensky has not yet read the proposal, Trump positions himself as the active peacemaker and subtly implies that any delay in ending the war is on Ukrainian side. This framing allows him to present Russia as surprisingly cooperative, fine with it, while suggesting that Zelensky's own team supports the plan, isolating the Ukrainian president as the supposed obstacle. Such an approach overlooks the fundamental reality: Ukraine is fighting for its survival against a full-scale Russian invasion. Any peace proposal directly affects Ukrainian sovereignty, security, and territorial integrity. By downplaying these stakes and shifting responsibility onto Kiev, Trump sidesteps the core issue that achieving a just and durable peace requires confronting Russia's aggression, not painting Ukraine as indecisive. His comments about expecting the war to be somewhat easier further underscore a disconnect from the brutal daily consequences of Russia's assault. Ending a war of this magnitude is not a matter of paperwork or personal disappointment. It demands strategic cohesion, international pressure, and unwavering support for the nation under attack. Ultimately, Trump's rhetoric reframes a complex wartime reality into a narrative of Ukrainian hesitation, a simplification that ignores both the nature of Russia's invasion and the immense responsibility borne by Ukrainians' leadership. President Volodymyr Zelensky has not yet seen the new amendments to the peace plan due to the risk of eavesdropping. National Security and Defense Council Secretary Rustem Umerov will personally bring them from the United States and explain the details of the negotiations, according to RBC Ukrainian sources. In particular, the issue of territories remains one of the most difficult points in discussions on the draft peace plan.
Initially, the peace plan had 28 points. Then in Geneva, it was cut to 20. After the negotiations in Moscow, our delegation saw further changes in Florida and discussed them with the Americans. There are difficult issues in the talks, especially concerning territory, and this requires work.
Thus, Umerov will be able to brief the president of Ukraine only today on all the details of the US-Russian negotiations in Moscow and on Washington's reaction to Ukrainians' amendments to the draft peace plan. Umerov will arrive in London, where Zelensky is currently on a visit. This cannot be done over the phone. We see how much is being intercepted, and only now will they be able to speak in person, the source explained. At the same time, the source added that Umerov constantly reports to the president of Ukraine on the course of all negotiations, but he needs to look at all draft documents. There is more than one, the source added. Secretary of Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council, Rustem Umerov, stated that the top priority for the Ukrainian delegation during negotiations was to obtain complete information about the dialogue between the United States and Russia in Moscow. Umerov said that for several days, he and Ukraine's Chief of the General Staff, Andriy Ignatov, were working in the United States with representatives of US President Donald Trump. He thanked the American side for its constructive cooperation.
The primary task of the Ukrainian team was to receive from the American side full information regarding their conversation in Moscow and all drafts of current proposals, so that we could discuss them in detail with the President of Ukraine.
According to Umerov, President Volodymyr Zelensky will receive full information on all aspects of the dialogue with the American side and all related documents today. Oleksandr Syrskyi, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, has once again stressed the need to strengthen the safety of servicemen in training centers during basic military training, reported by Syrskyi on social media. It is noted that during the briefing, the Commander-in-Chief heard reports on improving the quality of training over the reporting period, developing basic military training in combat brigades, enhancing safety in training centers, selecting instructors for the Assault Units Training Center, and ensuring the initial orientation of newcomers at training centers. Syrskyi separately emphasized the importance of implementing a comprehensive program for the initial integration of servicemen at the beginning of their basic military training, as a significant proportion of absent without leave incidents occurs during this period.
We are continuing to move training further away from the front line and are assigning Army Corps to training grounds in Ukraine's center and west. Meanwhile, I stress that the construction and equipping of shelters at training centers must be accelerated and addressed without delay. At some facilities, the level of safety provision is unsatisfactory. We have no right to take the safety of our servicemen lightly. I have issued the necessary orders to resolve the problematic issues.
That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Support Ukraine, like and subscribe.